ತಪಸ್ವಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ಶುಶ್ರೂಷಾ ಕೃಷ್ಣಪೂಜಾರತಂ ಮುನಿಂ ವಿಶ್ವೇಶಮಿಷ್ಟದಂ ವಂದೇ ಪರಿವ್ರಾಟ್ ಚಕ್ರವರ್ತಿನಂ. ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ ಟು ಆಲ್. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು Bhagavad Gita session. Today we are going to look at Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 verse 47. This is the last shloka of the Bhagavad Gita chapter 1. In the previous verse we saw Arjuna declared, if they kill me unarmed, that would be better for me. That was his final verbal decision. Now comes the visible outcome of that decision. Until now he was speaking, now he stops speaking. The emotional collapse becomes physical and it is visible to everyone. The warrior who once conquered kingdoms now cannot even hold his bow. Let us look at the verse first. Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 verse 47. एवमुक्त्वार्जुनः सङ्ख्ये रथोपस्थ उपाविशत् विसृज्य सशरं चापं शोकसंविघ्नमानसः. एवं thus, uktva having spoken, Arjuna, Sankhe in the battlefield, Rathopastha on the seat of the chariot, Upavishat sat down, Visrujya having cast aside, Sasharam along with arrows, Chapam bow, Shoka samvignamanasah with a mind disturbed by sorrow. Simple meaning of this verse: having spoken thus in the battlefield, Arjuna sat down on the chariot, casting aside his bow and arrows, his mind overwhelmed with sorrow. Let us look at the deeper explanation of this verse. Evamuktva, having spoken thus, Arjuna's all arguments are finished. Social reasoning, moral reasoning, fear of Varna Sankara, concern of Kuladharma, fear of sin, preference for death, he has said everything. Now he wants to be silent, don't want war or don't want to talk anymore. So then Sankhe, it comes Sankhe in the shloka. in the battlefield. Having spoken thus in the battlefield. Sankhe. Look at the word carefully here. Sankhe. Sankhe comes from the idea Samyak Kham Sukham Yena Kshatriyanam Tat Sankham. That which gives complete joy to Kshatriyas. That is Sankha. Sankha. When it comes to Saptami Vibhakti, it is Sankhe. Means battle, in the battlefield. War is not fear for Kshatriyas. War is fulfillment for Kshatriyas. A true warrior prefers dying in the battle to living without purpose. For a Kshatriya, battle is honor. Battle is opportunity. Battle is dharma. Battle is glory. And this is not an ordinary battle. This is once in a lifetime opportunity to fight for dharma itself. That is why in this particular verse that Vedavyasa ji used that Sankhe word. It's not ordinary war, it is a once in a lifetime opportunity war. Yet in such a battlefield, Arjuna loses interest. That shows the depth of his emotional collapse. The very battlefield that should energize him now paralyzes him. What a tragedy. What happens next? Rathopasthe upavishat. He sat down in the chariot. Earlier we saw how magnificent that chariot was. It's driven by Krishna himself, decorated with the Hanuman on the flag, Kapidwajaha. Invincible in power. The chariot symbolized divine protection. Everybody can see the Arjuna's chariot. Something is going on between Krishna and Arjuna. Everybody is watching. Now Arjuna sits inside. It looks like a withdrawal. It becomes visible to everyone. Two armies are watching. Something is happening between Krishna and Arjuna. This is no longer a private conversation. This is public hesitation. The greatest warrior sitting down in the middle of the battlefield. That itself shakes the morale. Rathopasthe upavishat. Why it should be public hesitation or it should shake the morale? In the next line it says, Visrujya sasharam chapam. He drops the bow and arrows. Earlier he said, Gandivam sramsrate hastat. My Gandiva bow is slipping out of my hand. Now it actually falls. This is not just a physical dropping. It is symbolic. Warrior identity falls. Confidence falls. Readiness falls. Once he drops the Gandiva, everyone knows he is not fighting. The situation becomes evident to all. This is not internal doubt anymore. It is visible renunciation. Visrujya Sasharam Shapam. He drops the bow and arrows. Everybody is saying it. Why? Why he drops that arrows and bow? Shoka samvigna manasaha. His mind is shaken by sorrow. It's not fear. It is not weakness. It's sorrow. It is attachment. It is emotional overload. He is torn between relationship, duty, justice, compassion, social consequences, reputation, sin. When too many moral variables collide each other, the system shuts down. That is why this is psychological paralysis. It is not fear or anything. It is a sorrow and attachment. Because of sorrow and attachment, he drops his arrow and bow and sits in the chariot. With that, everyone watching the scene, the first chapter ends here. It is called as Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Why is this despair called yoga? Because this collapse is necessary. Yoga comes from the Sanskrit root yujur yogi, meaning to join or to unite. In the Gita, yoga is not merely posture or meditation. It is any state that connects the individual soul to higher wisdom and truth. Yoga means, again, I am saying yoga is not merely posture and meditation. It is any state that connects the individual soul to higher wisdom and truth. That is called yoga. Arjuna's sorrow is not an ordinary weakness. It is the breaking of his ego. As long as he was confident in his own understanding, there was no space for divine instruction. But when his bow falls, when his certainty collapses, and when he accepts his confusion, he becomes open and receptive. That inner surrender connects him to Krishna's teaching. That connection is yoga. So, Arjuna Vishada Yoga means despair that leads to divine union. Because if Arjuna remained confident, Krishna would not teach. If ego remained intact, wisdom would not enter. Now the bow falls, the warrior sits, the sorrow speaks. Now the teacher will speak. Silence ends and Gita begins. What happens to Arjuna and what will be the Krishna's teaching, that we will see from next chapter onwards. Until that, Hari Om to all. God bless you all. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayah. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shantihi. Om Shantihi. Om Shantihi. Om Sham.